Sports gambling, an $83 billion industry, and the reason your degenerate uncle walks with a limp. If you've watched sports at all in the past few years, and if you live in one of the states that legalize sports gambling, or as I like to call them, the actual free states, you've been shown a lot of commercials promoting free bets and deposit matching. Really, anything to get new players into the fold. Before I go further, I have to say this. I love betting on sports. There's nothing better than cooking up a 10-leg parlay on a Sunday morning. A parlay that, if it hits, will free you financially from the rat race that life has become. And there's nothing more demoralizing than watching that same parlay immediately fall apart on the first few legs as you sit there for the rest of the day, slowly coming to terms with the fact that you have to go back to work in the morning. In all seriousness, if you're able to control how much you spend, only bet what you're totally fine with losing, and don't chase your losses, sports betting is fun, the same way that playing slots is fun. You have no control over the outcome, but winning big is always a rush. The issue is there are a lot of people who have gambling problems. It's why the commercials have to get really serious at the end and be like, listen, if you suck at gambling and you can't stop, please call this number and get some help. And whatever you do, please don't buy a gun. Maybe that could be like the one piece of gun legislation that everyone agrees on. No, we actually don't sell single bullets. Listen, sir, I should tell you, this store has a strict check your ESPN bet account policy before making any sales. So if you'll just yep, just like I thought, you missed a 5-leg parlay within the past week. That means I'm not gonna be able to legally sell you this firearm. I can, however, recommend you check out BetterHelp and provide you with a referral code. It's actually a huge part of our business now. In an interview with Pew Research, Keith White, the executive director of the National Council on Problem Gambling, said this quote, we believe that the risk for gambling addiction overall has grown 30% from 2018 to 2021, with the risk concentrated among young males 18 to 24 who are sports bettors. Close quote. It's really no surprise that they've seen such a steep rise in addiction for gambling during this time, as it lines up pretty well with the legalized sports gambling through apps. If you're addicted to, say, riding roller coasters, like you can't get enough of the adrenaline rush that comes with the high rates of speed and sudden drops, that sucks. But you actually have to go to an amusement park in order to satiate your cravings for thrills. You can reasonably keep yourself from going on a 3-week corkscrew bender. It isn't like that old guy from the Six Flags commercial. I think he may have been a mascot. I don't know. Is showing up to your house and offering you great deals on skipping the lines. But for people who have a sports gambling addiction, they can't even watch college basketball without being reminded that their vice is never further away than the pocket they keep their cell phone in. But maybe that doesn't speak to you. Maybe you're the kind of person who looks at addiction as less of a disease and more of a personal moral failing. That sucks. And it's a shitty way to look at things. But no judgment. The view of a shitty person counts the same as the view of a saint when it comes to YouTube metrics. I do think you might be upset to learn that these companies are probably screwing you over, though. As someone who runs a sports channel, I've noticed that the best and perhaps really only way to hit it big is to embrace sports gambling. Shows like the Pat McAfee Show or the Dan Levitard Show have in the past had partnerships with brands like DraftKings and FanDuel to help pay the bills. And I don't begrudge them for this. Making content is, of course, a passion. It's also a job. Barstool Sports had a deal with Penn Gaming to create Barstool Sportsbook, partnership that seems to have led to a lot of issues between the two brands. Barstool can be on the edgier side of things, but that's perfect for the audience of mostly bros. Hell, even I listen to Pardon My Take occasionally and follow some of their staff on Twitter. That's their brand, and leaning into it is how they've managed to go from a free newspaper to perhaps the most successful independent sports talk brand online. However, having that edge is not good for a corporate entity like Penn Gaming. See, Penn will prey on people's gambling addictions, but they can't have some dumbasses tweeting stupid things that tarnish their image. They also ran into the issue with a segment called the Can't Miss Parlay, which was when one of the Barstool commentators, Big Cat, who is well known as a bad gambler, would put together a parlay that, given his history of missing, probably wouldn't hit. The name being, of course, ironic. But context is often left out of court documents. With that, Penn sold Barstool back to the founder, Dave Portnoy, and the Barstool Sportsbook was no more. However, Penn Gaming wasn't done, as he struck a deal with ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, that saw them paying the network $1.5 billion over 10 years to integrate their brands and create ESPN Bet. It makes perfect sense on paper for these brands to partner up. ESPN has been losing market share and revenue to upstart sports talk brands in the digital age, and Penn Gaming needs a big brand to give their sportsbook more legitimacy. As someone who reads a lot of news from ESPN and their contributors, this gave me pause. How is the public supposed to trust what insiders are saying now? When you can bet not only on the outcome of games, but the stats of players or where they'll end up being drafted or traded, how can we trust Adam Schefter's reports aren't meant to nudge the betting line one way or another? They've said that they've worked to separate the news side of their business from the commentary side to not have any conflicts of interest. But remember, the only way for these gambling brands to make money is for gamblers to lose money. So it benefits them to mislead you. So instead of bolstering my interest in ESPN Bet, makes me hesitant to take their news reporting, which built the company in the first place, seriously. Maybe that's all anything is anymore. Maybe every company is past their providing a good service to their customer stage. Instead, they're in the let's try to wring every penny out of our customers while they're still here stage. I hope not. But I mean, it isn't looking great. We're all addicts in our own ways. I'm addicted to attention, which is why I'm making videos, and you're hopefully addicted to watching those videos or something cooler like alcohol or porn. Anyways, I have 200 to 1 odds that all of this ends horribly, not just for the companies, but for society at large. You just got to use our promo code TVHEAD while downloading the Wicked Good Sports betting app to get this deal. Thank you so much for watching. If you like it, please subscribe. We are finally making videos on this channel again. It feels great. Really, really happy with that. We also, of course, as I said, have Wicked Good Sports, which is our sports talk channel. No betting talk on there yet, but probably will in the future, honestly. Like I said, it's pretty much the best way to make money for those things. So check that out. And our podcasting channel is Better Radio. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.